Yo, what's up, guys? It's DPX here. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, DPX Talks, for about an hour. It is May 13th, 2020, and I got a very special guest today, someone I've been trying to get on for over a year now. That is Mr. Doug Rodriguez.
How's it going, guys?
All right, how you been doing, Doug?
I've been okay at DPX. It's been just annoying. It's a weird time, but it's fun though.
Yeah.
It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I feel you. We got quite a lot to talk about. Um, uh, as you might have you didn't see that, Doug, but I just raised the volume and it showed a little picture of the thumbnail of the PS5 tech demo that just. Anyways, we'll talk about that very briefly, I guess, as well. I didn't tell him we were going to talk about that, but yeah. Well, before we do that, usually ever since the virus hit and everything's been in lockdown, I've been going over what it's been canceling or delaying. So yeah, last time I did this was like mid-April. So since then we've gotten fucking Comic-Con like canceled. So that sucks. We got Evo, I believe, was canceled.
Yep.
Scoob, I reported that got a different that got delayed, but shortly after that, it was announced that it's keeping its original release date, but is coming out on VOD, and which is in fact on Friday. So I might actually review that. Lionsgate pretty much moved their entire slate. Their new movie Spiral, which was like I believe a part of the Saw universe, was pushed back like an entire year. Not quite sure why you got to do it, push it back that much. John Wick 4 was pushed back, even though it wasn't going to come out for a while. And then the new Venom movie got delayed to sometime next year. I forgot when next year. And at the same time, it was also revealed to be titled Venom Let There Be Carnage, which is a little cringy, but whatever.
Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
I don't know about the title, to be honest.
And New Mutants finally got a new release date. That is August 28th, I believe. Still coming out this year. Not quite sure why it's not dropping on Disney Plus or Hulu. That movie's been through quite a lot. I think that's really it. Like
That's all the stuff that's been confirmed delayed. There's probably more that's gonna be delayed.
I think this was before last episode, but I forgot to mention this. The A Quiet Place 2 got a new release date of, I believe, September 4th.
Of 2021?
Huh?
Of 2021, or just pushed back
this year. This year. Yeah. So it's good that it's still coming out this year. Tenet still hasn't moved its release date. That's coming out in July 17th, and Warner Brothers still seems keen on having it come out then. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I can think of. Anyways, anything you want to say about any of that?
There's gonna be a lot more that's gonna be delayed. Like, I know it's gonna suck, but think about it. We've had so far entire years of the NBA, the NHL, NFL, all their seasons done.
Yeah.
There are things that are gonna, like the Xbox Series X was supposed to release this holiday season this year. It's probably not gonna, and if it does, I'll be shocked, to be honest.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, then I'm sure the PS5 will also not come out then, because Sony said they'll release it around the time when Microsoft releases the. I also forgot to mention that the Batman had a release date of June 2021. Don't worry about that sound you just heard. It was gonna release in June 2021, but then got pushed back to October of 2021, which was the same month as Uncharted, but then that got pushed upwards to July of 2021. So that's interesting. During all these delays, something got pushed up. So
everything's all over.
Yeah. So I think that's all on there. All about that.
It's all time. I mean, you really can't blame them though. Like I don't know why I go on Twitter. I see people angry about that. It's like you can't blame them. They have to work with what they got.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It
But
seems like everything from this year, like everything that was in danger of being delayed this year, got delayed. And anything else that gets delayed, if it's like towards the end of the year or if it's next year, it's probably because um like studios are reshuffling their release dates, not because it's going to still be going on then. But next up, I wanted to ask you, Doug,
all
um,
right,
what have you been playing or watching recently?
dude, I've been just milking. Like I'm a big GTA fan. I love the GTA series. GTA 4 was a game, even though like 6-year-old me really didn't know what was happening. I still love that game.
Yeah,
So I've just been milking GTA 5 dry. There's been no DLC on it for a while now. We're like 8 or 9 months. Oh god, this could fucking
yeah, GTA. Everything good there?
hang on. All right, we're good. Damn it.
All right.
You have brothers, right, DPX?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then.
All right.
Um, what was I saying?
GTA.
GTA 5, yeah. So there's been no, because GTA 5 is a game that just needs DLC to keep it fresh. There's not much replayability after it, so
Yeah.
that. I don't know if you're a Call of Duty player or not, but the Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered thing came out finally, so I played that, but it's only a story mode, so there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah, that sounds.
I've been replaying a lot of old games too. I used to love to play the NHL hockey games. I used to love playing those.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
found,
a big fan of those like sports games because they're just like they're
yeah,
too
I know, there's
realistic
not
for
a,
me. It's not like
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I've been. Oh, did I just cut you off there?
I mean, I didn't really have too much more to say, but
All right.
I'll just like give my final little say on this. What else? I've just been rewatching a lot of old stuff that I remember, replaying a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I've
all I've
been
really.
I've been
There's
like
not much.
watching. I've been watching a lot of stuff. That like there's a list on my letterbox, which is usually in my descriptions for my YouTube videos. There's like a list of like over 30 titles, over 30 movies.
Have you been through all of them already?
Huh?
Have you been through all of them already yet?
Oh no, like that's like the list of movies that I have seen, not the list of movies like
Oh,
yeah, I've watched quite a bit. Um as for recently, I finished watching the final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I reviewed it. There's 12 episodes. First four are fine. The middle four are eh, and the last four are fucking superb. I gotta say. Um,
and on a good note at least.
yeah. If you anyone listening or anyone listening or watching, if you want to hear more thoughts on Star Wars: The Clone Wars, go check out my review. And want to know what show I've like? This is a show I watched a lot when I was younger. Now I weirdly like started rewatching a lot recently.
Yeah,
Remember the show Phineas and Ferb?
yeah.
I've been rewatching a lot of that recently. It's such a like creative show, I must say.
You know Gravity Falls, right?
Yeah, I never really got into
I'm
that one.
watching some of that again.
And like most of those Disney Channel shows, I never got
They
into.
were good. Like back in 2010, they were great, dude.
Yeah, but like even then, I never really got that into them. But Phineas and Ferb just grabbed me somehow. I don't understand. But yeah. Also, as for what games I've been playing, uh, recently reviewed Streets of Rage 4, great game, and I got the I've actually recently got Game Pass on my PC. I told you about this earlier, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to get Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which like I really wanted to play that when it came out, but I never got around to doing that, and now I can get it for free. But whenever I tried opening it up, it just there was like an error, and I thought that was something for Like, I thought that was like an error that I couldn't play these Xbox games on my PC. So I thought I just wasted. Well, it was $1 that I thought I wasted. But then I downloaded Streets of Rage 4, and that was a different. Now I had that on my Switch and the PC, and that worked fine on my computer. So it's just Ori that doesn't work, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I get to I pre-ordered I preloaded Minecraft Dungeons, which wasn't a game I was gonna get if I
I'm
didn't.
actually, I'm actually kind of. I want to see that. I really do.
Yeah, I was not going to get that game. I wasn't gonna pay for that game, but I mean I can get it for free, so sure. Let's see how it really is. So, yeah. Next up, this is something that broke like a week ago, but one man who will probably, before he dies, will probably end up accomplishing anything a human being can possibly do is Tom Cruise. And he's pushing to shoot a movie in space. If there's
I hope that happens.
if there's any actor that'll end up doing that, it's Tom Cruise.
Oh, it's them. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so he's teaming up with NASA to make a movie in space. That's pretty much all the details there is to it. I was gonna make this like one of like the bigger topics, but it's not a whole lot to this one. Um,
I'll say this though, like if I didn't cut you off,
that's fine.
that'd be fucking awesome. Like an actual, like a legitimate movie, fully shot in space. Dude, there's nothing like. I wouldn't even care if the movie was shit. Just the thought that it was in space is just cool enough to go see it for me.
Yeah, like I remember hearing that the recent Star Wars movie Rise of Skywalker was actually they had plans to shoot that in space because a lot of the movie takes place in space.
Yeah,
But they didn't do that. That makes sense because there's like years of planning and that's super
yeah. This will
expensive.
take.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
I hope this happens. You know.
that's my biggest fear though. Is the money, dude? The amount of fucking you need to train this crew. They got to know how to beat because you're gonna be in space for a while if you're gonna shoot a fucking movie.
Yeah, I don't
This
think.
crew is gonna need to one be qualified, two know how to live in space, which is alone a few years of training. Then, meanwhile, another team of NASA engineers to build a rocket ship that can house them for Lord knows how long they're going to be up there. Like the amount of, it's going to be a couple years, definitely. That's probably an underestimate, but it'll definitely be sick though when it happens.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say like the whole movie's gonna get shot in space.
Well, probably not, but I'm sure the big scenes are.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a space movie. Yeah, that's all there is to that, really. Um, recently, there's the Mortal Kombat Aftermath expansion that was announced, and bro, this like I like they dropped a little teaser for it before like they dropped the full trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like Mortal Kombat 12 as a joke. But no, it was interesting because there's like Shang Tsung who's like dead in the actual like universe, like coming out and actually like confronting Raiden and Liu Kang. So it turns out the Aftermath DLC is like an expansion with and there are three new characters, or two of them are returning, but there's Fujin, Shiva, and motherfucking RoboCop, baby. Um, that one's insane. We get both Terminator and RoboCop in the same game. That's insane. So, yeah.
Actually,
Um, plus, the name always escapes me, but the guy who voiced or the guy who did Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie, who was great, does the voice for Shang Tsung in this game. But now we actually get to see more of him in like the story, which is awesome. So we actually so we get a lot of uh, again his name always escapes me, but we get to get more of him as Shang Tsung. Um, Now, a lot of this did sort of start some controversy. Not like anything about like nothing I just said, of course, but like more the fact that it's $40. And it's not.
expansion.
Yeah, but it's not only that. You can get like the collection, I believe it's called, with the Aftermath expansion, the actual like Mortal Kombat 11 game and the first Combat Pack. Like if you don't have it, that is $60. So that sort of seems like you're devaluing the game to $20.
Well, I mean, games are already devalued after their first year alone.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Not by much
Mortal
usually.
Kombat 11, like itself, like it came out at $60, of course, but it's been devalued to, like, if you want to buy the game right now, it's $50. But you buy the
That's average.
you buy like the Aftermath expansion, and you want basically you don't have the game yet. This is great if you don't have the game already, because you get everything for the price of a new game. But if you have the game, the expansion comes with the characters. Like I care about that more than the story, but the story is really awesome, so I like this. But then again, like most expansions do this, and they're not met with
It's not uncommon.
and they're not met with as much like controversy as this is. But even then, this isn't like starting a huge controversy. Like this is
It's not even
Warner Brothers games. Like
look.
they
It's
are
not a
pretty,
ripoff by any means.
but Warner Brothers in terms of like their video game company, like they are pretty shady. Like they're not at the level of EA or Activision or Konami, but they're pretty bad. So leave it at that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Any real major game publisher has some shady business practice that's just hated, but
I mean, like some more so than the others. But
definitely.
yeah, again, Warner Brothers or WB Games is what they're actually called. They're not as bad as like EA, but they're pretty bad.
The best of EA, good God. I don't really have much to say on Mortal Kombat, but I'm definitely excited.
Yeah. And something that came up yesterday. Um, and it was just revealed on one Tony Hawk's Twitter, pretty much. He said
I know it's sad. I saw it too.
yeah, he's pretty much like, hey guys, my first two Pro Skater games are getting remastered. That's awesome. I fuck 3, I guess. I don't know, but
3 was my favorite, but I can definitely do with the other 2.
yeah, in my opinion, I think 2 is the best, but they're all really great games. You know, this is awesome.
Look, Skate 3, the Super Mega Skate Park, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, but this is Tony Hawk though, but yeah,
True.
no. Like I saw the trailer, of course, like it's up there for everyone to see, but like it looks really good, like the remastering. Yeah, and I heard some people like ask like, well, why don't you just make a new game? Do you see how the last fucking Tony Hawk game turned out? Fucking Pro Skater 5. You like
You don't even hear those.
yeah, like that shit was so bad. It was just rushed out because Activision was like, oh no, we don't want to lose the Tony Hawk license. Like that's pretty much what happened there. So it's good that we're getting like a remaster because like it shouldn't change too much of the game, but yeah, I'm excited for this, and it's coming out fairly soon. I forgot when it's coming out, but it's coming out it's coming out this year, like August or September. I think it's September. It comes out. Yeah.
I love remasters, so usually when I see remaster for any game I like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's fun to see it on 60 FPS or just better graphics than it was back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It just is, because you're so used to seeing it like in just grainy 2010, 2011.
Yeah, like you see the original Pro Skaters, they're like more blocky.
They were very well made. They were very well put together.
Yeah, but like
for the time, obviously.
how they look now, like I'm not gonna say they look like shit now, but they've aged as well as a game from then could. I guess.
Yeah, like they did as well as they could back then.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's cool that we're getting this remastered collection. Again, I'm not quite sure where 3 went. Maybe there's like an actual reason behind that. Maybe like they lost the source code or some shit for that game, which is very possible. But
Seems a little like careless of a developer. It could happen.
yeah. All right. Last but not least, this is something that well, actually, we'll do 2 more smaller topics. Um, this is something that Doug brought to my attention like right before starting this, and it's something I very quickly mentioned earlier. A PS5 tech demo was shown today. Um, I didn't really watch much of it. Um, it looks cool. Uh, did you have a chance to see more of it?
I saw there was a 1 minute clip on my Twitter that I saw, but from what I saw, it looked good. Definitely, I think it's the Unreal 5 engine.
Yeah.
Which makes it look smoother. So I mean, personally, I don't play PlayStation. It's not even because I hate it. It's just like on Xbox my life. Like when I was a kid, we had the 360 and then the One. So I don't really plan on changing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
you
was
see,
cool,
I had the original Xbox and I had the 360, but I got the PS4 because there's just in my opinion, I feel there's a lot more to offer with the PS4. But I'm I'm playing it with I'm trying to play smart here with this next console generation. See which one's marketed well. See which one has the better launch.
honestly,
If I even get one of them at launch.
it's becoming less and less of a real problem because now a lot of more games are having crossplay. Like Fortnite was the
Yeah.
first. It wasn't the first, definitely, but it was like the first big one to have it. I'm trying to think of anyone else.
Minecraft had
Minecraft has crossplay.
yeah.
Yep.
Not quite sure what else.
Modern Warfare has crossplay. I think it's the first Call of Duty game to have it, which is cool.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to one more smaller topic. This one because you actually didn't know that this was going to be a smaller topic, but because I'm not entirely sure about this one, but apparently Amazon may be buying AMC theaters. Now, this comes from, last time on the podcast I talked about how AMC is filing for bankruptcy, and they need like a company to save them. Amazon might do that. There are talks that Amazon will buy AMC, and their stock has actually gone up because of it. So yeah, and like it'll make sense, I guess. Like I heard someone bring this up. If you're like an Amazon Prime member, you can be that can also come with like an AMC Stubs like premiere thingy or vice versa. Luckily I'm both Amazon Prime and AMC Premiere thingy. But yeah, anything you want to add to that, Doug?
It'd be cool. I think it's time that company change hands anyway. It's kind of been poorly run for the past few years. Like it's been kind of poorly marketed and nothing really. On top of that, this could also be because it's just the decline of the movie theaters now. There's just Netflix. And there's really no reason to leave the house anymore. So it's going to be linked to that definitely. But I mean, if Amazon could definitely save it, market it properly, maybe switch around the execs a little bit. Clearly weren't qualified to do their job or just sucked at it. So if they could definitely change the company around on the top, then and market it better again and maybe secure some better deal, then who knows? Maybe they can recover. It's
All
all
right.
really can happen.
All right, so that'll be all for like the smaller topics. Now we're gonna get into the bigger topics, I guess. Man, I'm about to sneeze. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I hate that shit.
You're good.
Um,
Sucks.
so this is something that happened like this time. I'd say like this time last week ish. The Xbox Series X gameplay. You can't see me doing it, Doug, but in the webcam, air quotes, gameplay reveal.
Gameplay.
And we're gonna bunch these 2 topics here at once. Like when I make the little, segment videos on D3PX, these 2 topics will be in the same video. We'll do Xbox Series X gameplay reveal and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is where all the everyone was mad. But so pretty much this showcase was pretty much for I'd say just showing off what's coming to the Series X. You know, some cool stuff. Despite the fact that there is no gameplay shown. The medium, which is like that new Silent Hill looking game, looks really cool. Scorn, which has been in development hell, looks really good. That one Bandai Namco game, I forgot the name of, looks really good. And I believe they're all gonna be Xbox Series X exclusives. Like the Medium, Scorn, they're gonna be Series X exclusives. And then we get to. I remember looking at the live chat, and everyone seemed to be happy. And then we get to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and they said, "Oh yeah, gameplay reveal for Assassin's Creed Valhalla coming soon." They didn't show any gameplay. I remember I remember when I was watching that being like, did I miss something? Like, did I just look away when the gameplay was being shown?
Looked away for that 1 millisecond that the gameplay was shown. Oh,
Yeah. So it turns out I looked at the chat and everyone was like saying like F and shit. Turns out it was in-game engine reveal, I guess. And the head of Microsoft's marketing department actually came out and said, like, this was poor marketing on our part. Like, they didn't...
They took responsibility for it.
Yeah, at least they owned up to it. They said they'll do better. There's, like... I think they're going to do, like, an actual gameplay reveal for the games in July. Yeah... They also didn't specify that those certain games were going to be exclusive. Well, I guess you can say the one game that I don't even remember, but I feel like I remember seeing like kind of gameplay for Madden 21, which, oh boy, can you believe it? A new Madden game. Oh my god. More the fact that that's like the only thing we got gameplay for. Look, I don't even remember if we got gameplay for fucking Madden. But
it's the same shit every year. It's just different players.
Yeah, so you hear about this, or you knew about this. You didn't have to research this at all, but you hear about this poor marketing about a gameplay reveal, and there's no gameplay revealed at all. What are your thoughts, Doug?
Well, it's definitely bullshit. Like, how the hell you can... But at least you said it yourself. At least they admitted to being like, hey, listen, we fucked up. We'll try to do better next time or something. Like, at least they admitted it. So at least it brings back some trust in their company or their...
Yeah.
As for the Series X itself, I mean, I'm excited for it, definitely. These consoles, the new gens or the current gens, I should say, were capped at 60 FPS. And a lot of games that, like, to this day remain updated on the Xbox One, like GTA 5 being the only one. It's the only one I can think of off my head.
Yeah.
Like, GTA 5 is still running on Xbox 360 firmware. It doesn't take advantage, even on the PC version, it doesn't take advantage of any hardware you can use. Largely because probably Rockstar just doesn't give a shit, to be honest.
I will say this, though. While, like, I don't have an Xbox One, and while PlayStation hasn't done anything to convince me to buy the PS5, as of yet they haven't revealed much. If I were to already have a PS5 or already have an Xbox One, I don't feel like I have much of a reason to get the Series X, because they're still doing the whole, like, no exclusives for a while. Like, basically, like, the launch titles for the Series X are also going to come out on the One. So, yeah. Also, the Halo Infinite. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one. Look, I'll be shocked if that comes out this year. I mean, like, even if the Series X comes out this year, I'd be shocked if Halo does.
If the Series X actually comes out this year, I don't even know. Like, I'm honestly props to Microsoft for getting it out. But yeah, I think it comes out because Microsoft has a history. Okay, You know the Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death, right? Everyone knows that.
Yes.
That was because Microsoft just rushed
They
to
rushed.
get the
Yeah.
360 on the shelves. So they used cheap components, and that led to. I was reading articles the other day. I think it was almost $1 billion fucking dollars in warranty repairs and shit like that.
Wow.
Like, think $1 billion fucking dollars because they fucked up like that. So I really don't want to see this console rushed. I'd honestly rather just take their time and be good.
Yeah. I never got the Red Ring of Death because I have a later. I have a later model of the 360, so I ain't gonna get.
I had a 360S, I think, so we never had it. But I'm
Yeah.
excited for the Series X, though, definitely. Like 120 FPS. I forgot all the specs, but I'm sure if I were to go back at them.
I do want to say one thing though. In the event, in the little reveal thing, one of the guys had a refrigerator shaped like a Series X, which I thought was funny. That just stuck with me. That was the most important thing in the whole thing.
The design is definitely questionable, but I mean, it doesn't bug me that much. I can deal with it.
Yeah. All right. I also want to talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which was revealed a while ago, but I've wanted to talk about this for a while. Look,
Right.
I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed. I think most of the games are kind of boring, and they don't, like, I hear the more recent ones are good, like Odyssey and Origins, but the other ones, for me, they're just a little too similar to really justify a yearly release. That was before they stopped getting yearly release.
Completely understand that.
But
because I played Assassin's Creed 3. I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I fucking love those games.
Yeah,
but I didn't play 5. I didn't play Odyssey. I don't even know why I didn't play them. I just didn't. I guess I just felt
Valhalla though.
Because I love Vikings. I think they're fucking cool.
Yeah, Valhalla, as someone who does not give two fucks about Assassin's Creed, Valhalla looks sick based on cinematics. God damn it. But I mean, yeah, I like Vikings and stuff, so it's the idea is appealing to me. So
we haven't even had one about we had one about the Egyptians, which was really cool. I didn't play it, but it was cool.
Yeah,
you see, like, because I love Vikings, they're kind of not as much as really about them, so it kind of just be really cool to see that and what the game brings to the table. I am worried though about. Sorry if I'm cutting you off, by the way,
it's
but
fine.
I am worried about mission design because I'm going to be honest. Sometimes they just design those missions so poorly, dude. It's like you got to do this, then this. It's just everything is designed to be so tedious and annoying. I just hope they don't screw it up. Hopes are low.
So I believe that's all for that. I'm just interested in this game. That's really all I gotta say.
Honestly, if because I have my cousin's really into Assassin's Creed. If he says it's really good, then I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not much really. To be honest, I don't have
much to say
about it.
We go from something regarding Xbox to something regarding PlayStation. And this is also kind of old news. Don't worry, we'll get into more newer news later on, but this is just something I wanted to talk about because it's big, and I think it's still going on right now. So some disgruntled employee at this is alleged. Some disgruntled employee at Naughty Dog basically said, like, if you don't give me my pay, I'll leak the entirety of The Last of Us Part 2. And they didn't get their pay. He didn't get his pay, and there are spoilers fucking everywhere. Somehow I managed to not find out about any of the spoilers, despite being on Twitter. I'm sure if I delve deep enough, I'll find spoilers. I haven't done that, because, this game looks really good, but, like, it's fucked up. Like, people. Apparently, the spoilers, like, people aren't happy with the spoilers, like, with what goes on, but that's different. Like, what I say, don't go around and spreading them, and don't ruin it for other people. Like, obviously, the one dude who leaked it, there's, like, a lawsuit going on and everything. I'm not saying this to the one dude who leaked it. Like, if you're someone who doesn't want to get spoiled, but then gets spoiled, don't ruin it for someone else.
True.
And it's just not right to leak the game because there are people that really want to find out about the game. Like Last of Us Part 1, the first one had a fantastic story. It was probably one of the best story-driven games of all time. And a follow-up is probably very appealing to a lot of people. And and then this happens, and it seems that the hype has died down for Last of Us Part 2 ever since this, and even like Sony even seemed to like rush a new release date for Assassin's Creed, Last of Us Part 2, um, being June 18th, I believe, and they gave Ghost of Tsushima like July 17th. And I mean, I was already more excited for Ghost of Tsushima just because um, I never, I haven't actually played the original Last of Us. I'm trying to find a way to play it, but so Ghost of Tsushima kind of wins by default. But now I'm even more excited for Ghost of Tsushima rather than Last of Us. But you hear all this, Doug. Last of Us Part 2 got leaked. So what are your thoughts on all this? Do you think it's right to leak the game? Do you think?
Well,
What are your thoughts?
that whoever that employee is, that he definitely deserves to get fucked in every way possible because like what he did was like, okay, you didn't get your money, that's fine. Well, I mean, it's not fine, but like, that's something between you and your company to figure out. Don't fucking ruin this shit for the millions of people that wanted to see it. And think about how many like fucking developers worked on this game to try and make it cool and suspenseful, only for this one guy to be like, well, I didn't get paid. All that work's practically thrown out now. And this could probably even convince people not to buy it, because if they don't like how it turns out, it's like, all right, why the fuck am I going to buy it then?
Yeah.
So he deserves everything that comes to him.
Yeah, and it's it sucks. People were looking forward to this game, and the hype has seriously died down. And I shortly after this, they released like a story trailer, showing some clips from the story. And I didn't watch it, but not because like I don't want to get spoiled. Because I mean, like obviously, if it's a trailer dropped by the company like PlayStation, it's not much of a spoiler. But like, I just never got around to watching it. But it seemed that got people even more mad. That like, yeah, I don't. This is like, oh, again, a lot. This is kind of old news.
It's fun.
The talk about this has died down. There's a lawsuit going on, and yeah, I do hear a bunch of shit that goes on in Naughty Dog. A bunch of like not good shit. I don't know if it's true or not, but Naughty Dog, they're a good that's a good developer. They're really good. So it sucks that this had to happen, but I've somehow been able to avoid spoilers. I don't even fucking know how, but apparently apparently also leave either PlayStation or Naughty Dog or one or the other are like flagging videos that even like hint at the spoilers, like
it's too late. Damage is done.
like they're like flagging or taking down or whatever, like any video that like says anything like close to them. Like this won't get taken down because we're not revealing any of them, but yeah, it's crazy. Any final thoughts?
Taking down the videos, you're too late. People have them saved. People have them downloaded. They will keep throwing them out. Don't give a shit.
Well, no, I mean like I believe that wasn't like that was earlier on. Like they weren't late to that. I was just late to mention that.
Final thoughts, though. It is fucked up, definitely. I guess that whoever that employee was deserves everything. I hope it's a really big fucking lawsuit.
Yeah.
He's probably going to get... Think about it. If they lose money in sales, this guy's going to get sued for millions of fucking dollars.
Yeah, this game would have probably made millions of dollars. Yeah, it sucks, dick and balls, but yeah. Next up, Doug, you're not a big Star Wars fan, as you told me, but
Not really.
there's something I want to talk about with Mandalorian season 2, as I really like the first season of Mandalorian, and to be honest, I feel like non-fans of Star Wars can like the first season of Mandalorian because it doesn't have to do much with Star Wars. Like, obviously, it's got Baby Yoda, and Yoda's a popular Star Wars character. This isn't Yoda himself, though. His real name's not Baby Yoda. It's like he's like the same species as Yoda, just a baby. This also takes place after Yoda died, so it's not actual Yoda. Anyways, I know you guys listening probably know that, but Doug's not a big Star Wars person, so I just want to tell him that. But anyways, and Mandalorian was kind of it was good because it sort of created its own world, I guess. Like it explored places that were never explored in Star Wars before, because Star Wars, is a very expansive universe. And we got to see characters we've never seen before, worlds we've never seen before, bunch of stuff. And we've been getting a lot of announcements for season 2 that characters like Ahsoka Tano from Clone Wars is going to be in it, and she's going to be played by Rosario Dawson, which is like perfect right there. That's perfect casting. And then we recently got an announcement that fucking Boba Fett is gonna return. And many people are like, "Oh no, Boba Fett, he's dead. Why are you bringing him back?" Well, yeah, he never really came back in the movies. He died in Return of the Jedi, but in the expansive comics, he came back. These are like canon. He came back and did some pretty cool shit. So, oh yeah, you gotta do that. Got hit one. No, you're being recorded. But whatever. Yeah, and then we got an announcement that another character from the Clone Wars. I forgot the name. Wait, let me look it up again. Wait, I remember it was Bo something. Wait, Bo-katan. She was like a Mandalorian in the Clone Wars, and it got me thinking. Like, Alright, try not to make too much noise with that.
No, I had to toss that.
Alright, that's fine. But kind of made me think, this is kind of taking away something I liked about the first season of The Mandalorian. Like, I'm sure Ahsoka and Bo-Katan and Boba Fett would be integrated well, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like the first season was more on like establishing these new characters, and now for the second season they're throwing in all these uh, existing characters that we know to try to get it. It almost seems like they're doing it out of desperation for more viewers, but the most people that signed up for Disney Plus at launch did it to watch The Mandalorian, and I guess Disney saw that people aren't keeping their subscriptions because Mandalorian is done. And to be honest, there's really nothing else on there.
It's fair.
But aside from the Clone Wars, that shit was good. But like, there's like a whole 6 other seasons you should watch before that one. Like, but then again, like, as long as they keep the Mandalorian himself, Pedro Pascal's Mandalorian, as the main character, and don't make it become an Ahsoka show or a Boba Fett show, then that's fine. So, um, you as someone who's not a big Star Wars fan, how do you see this? Do you see this as like shrinking the universe, or as like sort of throwing in characters, but it'll only not be as good if like it focuses on the already established characters rather than the uh, new characters, I guess. What do you think?
Well, my opinion is definitely limited. because like I said, I'm not that I hate Star Wars. I just never got into it. But I will say, I don't think they should focus on the already established characters that much, because the whole point of it was to expand to a different sort of universe. So it would make sense to focus on maybe newer characters. Kind of bring something fresh to the table. Because after a while, just reuse content gets boring. And people say it doesn't, but it does eventually. You get sick of watching the same shit. So it would definitely be nice to see someone who brings something to the storyline, bring something as a character, whether good or evil. It's just, as long as it's not completely pointless shit, like you're just flooding new characters or new places that have absolutely nothing to do with anything and are only there just to be there, then that's when it's just clearly getting overkill and they're clearly running out of ideas. But if they keep it keep the well-established characters in, definitely, because those are your old friends going in. But you should focus on new ones too. Definitely, you've got to bring something fresh always, otherwise it gets dull.
Yeah, I will say, the exception of Boba Fett, the established characters that they're throwing in, they're not from the movies. They're from the Clone Wars, and also made appearances in Rebels, which that had its own problem throwing in already established characters. But we've never. This is a live action show. They're throwing in characters that we've never seen in live action, so that's interesting. There, you know, yeah, I'm just when I heard that Ahsoka was gonna be in it, that was pretty cool. But now we get oh yeah, and by the way, Boba Fett. It's either Boba Fett or Rex, who's another character from the Clone Wars. But it's most likely Boba Fett. Rex would make more sense, but Boba Fett would be cool. He hasn't gotten that much screen time in the movies either, so it would be cool to see him more. But
Definitely.
again, if not, then give him his own series. I get they were gonna give him a movie, but that didn't happen because Disney. So yeah, any final thoughts?
Not really. I have a very limited opinion. I don't really like speaking on topics I don't know too much about.
Yeah, I
So
get that. All right. So we're going in a bit out of order. You guys listening don't know what I'm talking about, but Doug does. This broke earlier today, and I want to talk about this because it's rather new. So we all know Robert Pattinson is gonna be Batman, and at first, a lot of people were like, "What the fuck? This guy's Batman, the dude from Twilight." And I was like, and I kind of thought that too, but then I realized, or I found out rather, not really much of a realization, oh wait, no, he's supposed to be a younger Bruce Wayne and everything. He does have to you know get a bit more buff to be Batman. He is a bit he's obviously probably more muscular than me, but he just has to get some more gains
I
to
get what you're saying, definitely.
yeah. But so now there's downtime and everything. They were gonna start shooting the Batman, but the whole lockdown happened. And then apparently Robert Pattinson, the director or someone else, asked him to work out, and he goes, "I don't want to set precedents or something like that." He basically refused to work out for the role, which let's. This is tough because um, I'm trying to bring this up. Wait, um, there's a certain quote he said that I'm trying to bring up. Uh, what the fuck? I looked up Robert Pattinson expecting articles about this to come up, and the first thing I see from 2 and 3 hours ago is Robert Pattinson claims he invented a pasta burger. What the fuck? Why is this coming up?
Hey,
Why is this coming up?
Robert Pattinson, did you just say he claimed he invented a pasta burger?
Yeah. Why is this coming up?
Oh my god. Dude, that's Google. Google's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, I think this is it. I gotta find like the quote. He said like something particular.
Clean off my desk a little bit, damn.
Well, you heard what I said so far.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Well, his reasoning's garbage. I'll give him. It's obvious he just doesn't want to do it. His reasoning's hot garbage because they're already kind
Well,
of.
no, he wants to be Batman. Like it's like
No,
this
I'm not
would make
saying that he doesn't want to be Batman. I'm saying he clearly doesn't want to exercise for whatever reason. People have their own reasons, but like he says he doesn't want to set a precedent for having muscular actors like do superheroes. But if you think about it, that precedent has already been set with like Iron Man and the other Batman movies and the old Dark Knight movie. Like it's obvious that a precedent like that was already set. So he's trying to break it and set a new one, which that's a garbage reason to me.
Yeah, he also mentioned another actor from. I've see like that's one reason why I'm trying to pull this up because I can't remember his name. But there's one actor who like died in the 50s as like an example of someone who didn't have to work out, I guess. Bro, like
shit like that, I fucking irritates me, dude.
yeah.
Because like using outdated shit.
But I listened to two separate podcasts that talked about this today, and both of them had two separate takes on this. One had someone like really mad, like this dude was like fucking like, fuck you, you're fucking saying this shit. The other one made me realize, he said like the other podcast I heard talk about this was more like he's just fucking around. He's not being serious, and to be honest. That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense if he's just fucking around, because why else would he mention the dude from the 50s? God, I feel so dumb not knowing.
What?
I feel like I shouldn't be talking about it if I'm ill-informed, but... Well, whatever. Like, so it would make sense if he's, like, fucking around. People... I will say, like, he... I will say this is, if he is fucking around, good. Then he's taking the role seriously. I'm saying he's gonna be great in the movie. I can imagine Robert Pattinson being great as a young Bruce Wayne, but
yeah,
will he look great? Well, yeah, he could look great, but one of the guys I heard talking earlier said he probably won't look as great as he could, and that is very true.
That's a fair take.
So, yeah, and there seems to be a lot more stuff breaking about Robert Pattinson right now. He invented the pasta burger.
What a guy, honestly.
And I also saw a headline that said he commented about Tenet pushing back the production for the Batman. I don't fucking know. Even though Tenet didn't even move, so I don't. Whatever. Anything else you want to add to that?
I'm gonna have to agree with the other take, to be honest. Like, you're right. He will probably look good, definitely. Like, those, like, movies they always find some way around it, but he definitely won't look as good as he could.
Yeah.
Which, it's kind of a sign of what's really to come.
Yeah, but actually, something else I want to say. If he is being serious and says he doesn't have to work out, he doesn't want to set a precedent or whatever, like, no one's saying he has to be, like, fucking, like...
Yeah, you don't have to be buff, like, by
any stretch. He doesn't have to be, like, 260,000 pounds chiseled. That was an exaggeration, of course. That's not possible. But, like, you look at stuff like, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He said he, like, owes it to the fans and to, like, the studios to be in that shape to be Wolverine. That's just an example. Like, you gotta,
definitely. Robert, he's probably just lazy. He probably just doesn't want to work
either
out.
that or he's trolling. I wouldn't be surprised if he's trolling.
Could be. It could be.
So yeah.
Type of sport.
Any final thoughts?
Honestly, no, I don't.
All right. This is one that's pretty funny. So there was recently the term Twitch thought gets thrown around a lot. Basically, for any female Twitch streamer, I don't even think I have to say anything more than that. Basically any female Twitch streamer, someone's gonna call a Twitch thought, which, to be honest, I don't think is quite fair. But this
It's definitely
girl, I
not
mean,
fair, but it's what happens.
this girl, I mean, so I don't want to share names because for a reason I'll get into later. But this one girl, like, I'm sure you all know, she basically cried about not having Twitch subs. Saying if you have hours and hours to watch Twitch, you have $5 to spend on me to support the content that you're getting. Even though people clicking on the content, people clicking on the videos or the streams to watch you is supporting you enough, because I mean that is if you have like ads and stuff, but
Very true.
like donations come from the kindness of your heart, not some sort of obligation. And also, there's kind of like a fucking pandemic going on right now. I don't think it's that important though.
Yeah. Not a lot of us really have jobs, so.
Yeah. Also, the $5, that can be a huge difference. Like that can be whether or not that can like decide what you have for lunch. You know.
True.
But you see, I've seen a lot of videos just shitting on this girl. And to be honest, this is going to sound very contradictory, but to be honest, you shouldn't make these videos. Want to know why? Like, right now we're doing the one thing.
I want to hear your take on this.
Right now we're doing the one thing I'm kind of saying not to do, but at the same time we're not. Want to know why? Because I know exactly what she's doing. She's doing this for attention. I really believe so, because, like, at the beginning of the year, people sort of seem to have forgotten already. At the beginning of the year, Bad Bunny, who I'm sharing the name because, like, that one was way more. Bad Bunny did literally the exact same thing. But you see, when I saw Bad Bunny complain about this shit, she seemed way more deluded about what she was saying. And this girl just seems like she even after what she said, she even like laughs like hee yeah, I'm getting attention, haha. And yeah, you are. I'm falling into this fucking trap, but at least I'm realizing it's a trap. You know, like
I don't know. I don't know if you saw. There was another video that just came out not too long ago of some girl who was like, "Your life is not as important as mine, so you should sub to me because you're and I am." That was.
wait to say that again because your audio seemed to cut out at the very important parts.
Shit, turn my camera. So she was basically saying how she was all like on her. She was like, "Listen, I'm important than all of you, so you should sub to me and donate to me because I'm more important." And of course, it's complete bullshit, but it's almost funny, and you almost think to yourself like, there's no way someone's brain capacity is so fucking limited to just that. Like, you have to think.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, this girl that cried about the fucking Twitch subs, and I remember what she said too. She's like, "What you mean to say is I'm so irresponsible with my money that I can't support the content that I enjoy." No. You're completely wrong, but then again, I think that's the point. What I'm doing right now, I mean, no one's gonna fucking watch this, but what I'm doing right now is exactly what she wants. So, you're welcome. Any final thoughts? Because we probably shouldn't leave this one that long.
There's a lot of Twitch in general is just a mess.
Yeah, like there's there's good content out there on Twitch,
No,
of course.
definitely. Twitch is like the founder of streaming, really.
I also don't think it's fair to call every female Twitch streamer a Twitch thought, because
Definitely not
well,
fair.
if you even consider what thought means, like the term Twitch thought doesn't make much
It's
grammatical
not even
sense.
used correctly.
So
But my final thoughts.
final
I
thoughts.
don't want this to go too off topic, but look, it's people have they're all like another reason I think this is just people are just angry at Twitch and
Yeah.
things like Alinity dodging the ban hammer so many fucking times.
Oh, Alinity was. She was
like it's
mad.
obvious she's dodged the. It's obvious she's got someone at Twitch watching her back. So I think another reason is just people are just angry at Twitch. So anytime it's almost guilt by association.
Yeah.
Like anytime, because YouTubers say the same dumb shit on a daily basis, but you really don't see it. It's mainly Twitch, and obviously when they see that the person's saying this is a girl, because you know how guys are. So of course there's automatically more attention to it. And so it's more just people are angry at Twitch. They're angry at the people who stream on it. So when they say dumb shit like this, it's guilt by association time. Even if they are, which they have to be because no one has that few brain cells and still functions humanly. So we'll just God.
I also want to mention that another reason why this girl is probably trolling is because on Twitter her name is Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it's just a picture of her thighs. Yeah, we're moving on now.
All right, next topic.
All right, so we mentioned we mentioned the whole thing about Amazon possibly buying AMC, but there was something else that broke earlier. Earlier than that rather than earlier today. I made it sound like earlier today, but something else broke earlier about. So let me take you all back. 2 months ago, in fact.
Can you say that again? Because your audio just cut out at the worst time possible.
Where did you?
Right when you said earlier, right after you said it makes it sound like I said it earlier today, but right after that it cut out.
All right. Well, I didn't say anything of that important after that. So, right. let me take you all back to 2 months ago, where where me and Ramkit did the episode of the podcast, and we talked about the NBC bringing their movies over to VOD. That included of movies like The Invisible Man, which I actually managed to see, and it's actually really good. The Hunt, Emma, and Trolls World Tour, which wasn't out yet. So it was dropping the same the release date didn't move, dropping the same day it was originally intended to, but on VOD. But
it makes sense. Can't go really.
Yeah, that makes sense because especially since if you consider
they're stay-at-home orders throughout half the country, half the world.
So where were we?
We got off Twitch stuff. Oh, we were talking about how they released Trolls on VOD instead of theaters because you can't go see the movie. Right. Obviously.
So obviously that makes sense. Dropping, makes sense. Especially since when you consider Trolls wasn't projected to make that much money, so they dropped it on VOD. However, NATO, the movie theater association thingy, I'm getting texts. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm more sorry to the viewers. Whatever. So they actually came out and said Universal didn't, consult with the theaters, about it, and every other movie that got delayed or got moved to VOD, you look at Scoob, which has also been moved to VOD. Warner Brothers talked about that with the theaters. Universal apparently didn't do that with Trolls. So that all happened, and the theaters was like, we will not forget this. So that was interesting. And then a few weeks ago, Universal came out and said like, "Oh yeah, Trolls is doing really well," which despite it really not doing very well, in fact.
Every movie says their shit's doing well.
But they said we're gonna do this with more of our movies, release them in theaters and on streaming. And then AMC came out and said, "Nope, nope. If you're gonna do that, nope, we're not having your movies in our theaters," which is insane. And then soon after that, Regal came out and said, "Yeah, we're with AMC. We're not gonna let you fucking do that." And yeah, it makes sense. It's like we will refuse to show any movies that fail to uh, follow the rules. Basically, they're not following the theatrical rules. Um, so there's a bunch of shit going on with the theaters and Universal. Obviously, like they weren't gonna drop movies like Fast and Furious or Halloween on streaming, but movies like Trolls, like if that comes out, if another movie like that comes out, I'd say like that's more what they're talking about. So you hear all this, Doug. What do you think?
It's what do you want my opinion on first? Like, should Universal have talked to the theaters first, or like just everything in general?
Well, give me your thoughts on that first. Universal talking to theaters, and then give me your thoughts on is it okay to like just not allow any of Universal's movies?
Look, there's a lot of shit going on in the world. Obviously, you can't go see movies right now, so it makes perfect sense from Universal's point of view to just go ahead and release it.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, it's scum. It's definitely scummy not to talk to the movie theaters first, but at the same time, like, what are you gonna do? You can't show it in theaters anyway right now. We're
I
gonna just
must
go
also add Universal also advertised that the movie was coming out on streaming and in theaters, despite the theaters being closed. So that might have also been a problem. All right, continue.
Look, it's definitely scummy of Universal not to talk to them about it, or at least let them know. But at the same time, like, what can theaters do? You can't release this movie. It's for one something that's not going to make that much money projectedly.
Yeah, I know
And
that, but it's like you still gotta talk to them about it, like
yeah, you
whether or not you
still
want
have
to
to talk
delay it or just drop it on VOD. Like
yeah.
Warner Brothers talked about Scoob with the theaters. Disney talked about Artemis Fowl with the theaters, and that's dropping on Disney Plus. So like Universal didn't do that with Trolls. They just were like, yeah, don't ask what that was. I don't know. But, all right, continue. Sorry to cut you off.
As for Regal and AMC saying you do that, we're not going to show our shit in the theaters. I kind of agree because there is a very strong in the movie business, which I kind of have some knowledge about. There's a very strong bond between movie theaters and developers for obvious reasons. This stuff has to be coordinated and planned. So it's definitely scummy of them to say, hey, we're going to do this more because you're taking money away from the theaters and they have to make money. They're a business. So business wise, this makes sense as to why they're pissed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Continue. Sorry, I didn't know you weren't done.
I mean, I really don't think I had much more to say. What else am I saying? Um, like I said, from a business standpoint, I completely understand why they're upset. There has to be a bond here, and they have to definitely know each other's movement. That's really all I got on this.
Yeah, I also saw some
I
people.
understand why, definitely. Why
Yeah,
they're
I
angry.
also saw some people say like it's an overreaction. It seems like an overreaction at first glance, but when you think about it, like
If you really analyze what's going on here and what's at stake, it's not.
yeah, it's not an overreaction. So yeah, again, yeah, that is pretty scummy to do that.
Yeah.
You should definitely consult with the theaters if you're gonna drop the your movie on streaming, and then to do that without talking to the theaters, and then come out and say we're gonna do this more, that is pretty fucked up.
That's really scummy, actually. Like, just saying, oh, we're gonna do more now.
Yeah.
We're essentially gonna take money from theaters. Need to, like, because they're businesses, they have to make money. Or it's bankruptcy, and
They didn't say like they're gonna drop their movies exclusive to streaming though, but they
didn't say that, but that's definitely
no, they said like they're gonna.
they
They said they're gonna drop them on streaming and in the theaters, but it's like that's taking away like the theater going experience and option.
Well, from the average person, they're going to be like, well, why the fuck would I go leave? Why would I leave my house and go pay $36 million for a bucket of popcorn when I could sit at home, throw some in the microwave, and sit in my bed and watch it?
Exactly.
So yeah. even though they're not saying that this is going to be exclusive, it essentially will over time be exclusive because you just aren't going to make any money.
And that would also like
if you want to keep this open.
Mm-hmm.
Like movie theaters there has to be movies that first come out in theaters if these businesses want to survive.
Yeah, there's the theatrical window. It's like I believe like 3 months. Not sure, but
something like that.
So anything else?
That's really it, to be honest.
All right. And next up is every episode of the podcast. Well, every episode like this where we talk about current events. There's always a poll that I put up in the Discord. Link in the description of both the audio and YouTube versions. And the winner of the most voted option we talk about. So the three topics on this poll was A, what's the future of the Mario Kart franchise? 2, I just said A and then 2. Yeah, don't question. Should like episodes of a show release sporadically or all at once? Like, should it be like, like how it is on TV, or should it be like how it is on Netflix? And 3. All right. And 3. Sorry about that cut, by the way, guys. And 3. Great games that never got a sequel. And that one is the winner. So, great games that never got a sequel. A few of them come to mind for me. Bully is a great game that never got a sequel. Hidden Gem. Yeah, Psychonauts was... Well, I can't say that, because it's getting a sequel that's not coming out for another million years. Like, it says it's going to come out this year. If you Google Psychonauts 2 on Google, it'll say, like, release date 2020. But it won't say an exact date, and it will probably not come out this year, because whatever. Games like that. LA Noire is another one that gets brought up quite a lot.
LA Noire is actually
that's a good one.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, you seem like you were ready to say a few things, but then I started listing not mine. So what were you going to say?
Good games that had... I really don't know, to be honest. Like, because I feel like every single... I don't know, I feel like every good game I've played. Like, if I found out I had to buy it. So, great games that never got a sequel.
I know another great game. These are all a bunch of, like...
Honestly, LA Noire was the only one I really had in mind, to be honest.
Well, like, that game... I mean, that game went through a lot of shit. Like, it was...
Definitely.
It got, like...
Game,
it got a really... It went through development hell. Like, it had a really bad development cycle. And even... I think Team Bondi that developed it even shut down because of that. Because of the game.
It came out, like, well, though, in the end.
Yeah, and recently, like a few years ago, got ported to like the Switch and the Xbox One and the PS4. So it's good that more people got to play it. Another game that came to mind is, believe it or not, a Nintendo game that is rated M, called Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem, which was like a horror game on the GameCube. Nintendo published it. Like, the main character of that game could probably, like, be in Smash as a first-party character. Like, that's a Nintendo game, and it's rated M.
He would only be the second rated M character ever in Smash. The only other one's Snake.
Bayonetta's there too, but and
Oh,
Joker
Bayonetta.
and Joker. Joker's from a rated M game, but
Well, Snake was like the only original. Like the
yeah.
only.
So
He was also the first character not from a Nintendo game. Or
yeah, he
yeah,
he was before Sonic. Yeah. Yeah. Let's stay on topic, but
okay.
yeah, Eternal Darkness would be like a great. I mean, like I think the ship has sailed on that one. That one's been old, I
Probably.
guess. I'm trying to think. Anything else you can think of while I think?
Mm, I don't. I really don't know, to be honest.
One game that's also never.
Luigi's Mansion, but I'm pretty sure it got one.
No, that has two sequels.
Yeah, I'm done. Okay. I only played the original one, so great game, by the way. If you haven't played it,
Yeah, no, Luigi's Mansion's great. I think 3 is better though. But one game that
I don't have any ideas, to be honest, on this one. I'm kind of stuck.
one game that is like probably one of my favorite games, but like I've never talked about before with anyone is Super Meat Boy, and I mean that's getting a sequel.
I don't even know what that is, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, it's like a game where you play as like some. I mean, he's like a thing of meat with legs and a face, but he's more of like a red square with a happy face and legs and arms. Uh, um, he's supposed to be getting a new game, I guess, but like that was I don't know what's going on with Super Meat Boy Forever. The Shovel Knight is a great game, but that's also getting a sequel. This has turned into like great games that are now getting a sequel. But
Honestly, if you asked me this question like 2 years ago, my answer would have been Red Dead Redemption.
oh yeah, but the Red Dead Redemption 2 also took a really long time. So
Red Dead Redemption 2 for Rockstar Games had a disastrous launch. Absolutely horrible.
you're talking about the PC version? Because like
PC and even a little bit of console, but the PC one was oh my god, the PC was horrible.
I thought like I never played the game myself, but I thought I thought it launched fairly well. Like, well, no, that's probably the online.
It was disastrous.
That
The
was
game
probably
there were streamers trying to play the game and they just couldn't because the launchers sucked and the game would constantly crash, wouldn't even load half the time. I'm not gonna lie, the graph for the amount of time they really had to, the graphics were kind of like it was just a really disastrous launch day. And on top of that, online, because they kind of ran off the standard of GTA Online, which was very well updated and receiving regular updates. Red Dead Online didn't do that. Red Dead Online had kind of updates still. There's not much to do in online. There's not much to do in story mode after you complete it, really. After you complete the game, there's not much to do. It was disastrous. And to be honest, it sucks. They don't seem to really care. They haven't really done much to fix it.
All right, I think this topic's run its course. I think we talked about all the sequels we'd like to see. And we've got one more topic, and then we'll wrap it up here. Fuck, what was it? Oh yeah, there's a new scumbag company. You've heard of EA? You've heard of Activision, Bethesda, Konami? No, they don't hold a candle to Xaviant Games with their Culling game. So basically, the Culling was like a battle royale game. It was even before like PUBG and Fortnite. Like that was probably what like the original battle royale. I forgot how long ago, but it stopped getting support, and then they came out with the Culling 2, which also it was terrible. Like no one played it, and you couldn't play it because well, first of all, no one was there. But when there was enough people there, it was just terrible and everything. Like so bad that like we got refunds immediately. The game was taken off stores and like it's basically wiped off the face of the planet. So now Xaviant announced that tomorrow, in fact, they're relaunching the Culling as the Culling Origins. But there's a catch.
Oh no.
You see, the game costs $6, which sounds good, and you play a game for free. You can play, as in, like, you can do, like, one round of the game, no charges, and if you win, no charge for the next game. If you lose, that'll be $1. It's pay per play, pretty much, I guess. Like, there's like all the sports shows with, like, pay per view. This is pay per play.
Just to make sure I heard you right, you win, you move on to the next round free of charge. You lose, it's $1.
Well, I mean, it's not like a tournament, but you win.
No, I know what you know. It's not
Yeah.
a tournament. You're right. So if you win, if you make it to the next round in the game, you get to play for free. Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially like you get one free play a day unless you win one.
And if you lose, you got to pay $1 or wait 24 hours.
Yeah. What the fuck? That is fucked up.
That's
Like, I'm sure EA would even look at this and say, "All right, that is fucked." Bethesda would look at this and say, "That is fucked." Activision, Konami, which is probably even worse than all of them, would say that is absolutely fucked up.
I don't even have words for that. That's just
What has our gaming industry become?
Definition of pay to win.
That's not even pay to win. That's beyond pay to win. That's pay to fucking experience the game for more than like 5 minutes. That's like a fucking demo.
How many rounds are there?
What do you mean?
Like, how many rounds? Because you move on to the next round. Like, how many times?
No, it's not like a tournament. Like, it's basically like a game of Fortnite. Like, imagine you play.
How many times would I have to pay this dollar fee? Like, every time?
Huh? Say that again?
How many times would I have to pay $1?
As many times as you fucking play in, like, one game. One day. Yeah,
funny.
imagine, like, you like Fortnite. I personally don't, but that aside, you play Fortnite. Imagine you logged in and you had to play, or you played one game and you didn't have to pay for that, and you want to play another game, that'll be $1, please. Imagine that. And if you want to play another game without having to pay, you'd either have to win the first one or wait 24 hours. Or maybe log in with a different account. I don't know, but you probably don't want to do that. But it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. Fuck, man. Like, okay.
I don't even have words. I honestly don't even have words. That's just fucked. That really.
Okay, it's not like anyone's gonna see this, and if they do, it's not like, well, look at this dude, he's revolutionary. It's not like that's gonna happen. No. But look, if you're thinking, anyone watching or listening to this thinks about trying this game out, don't. Do not support this game. It's already $6 to buy and download on your fucking. I believe the game was even free to begin with, as well. I don't even know, but don't support this game.
Yeah, if anyone is watching, do not.
Fuck, man.
Gotta hit them where it hurts. The money.
I like, also, like, a minute or two ago, I made a joke like, "Oh, what has our gaming industry become?" Once again, EA.
It really has become.
EA would look at this and say this is fucked up. Activision would look at this and say it's fucked up. Bethesda, Warner Brothers, fucking Konami, I'm telling you, they'd look at this and say it's fucked up. I mean, Konami.
I honestly would rather go back to the era of paying for DLC than fucking just constantly pushing my.
You mean when, like, DLC was getting a little too out of control, like when they charged you for, like, endings?
Yeah, like that's cool. I'm talking about like old school DLC, where it's just like Call of Duty. You know, you pay $15, you get access to the new maps, these maps, like all that.
Not like you pay $1 and you get to play like 10 more minutes of the game.
Like I missed that era. I'd honestly rather go back to it because at least back then, the developers could focus more on player enjoyment and player experience
rather than fucking money.
Than just
Sorry.
All right, push these microtransactions, make everything as tedious as possible. Like it's.
Yeah, that's also true. There's microtransactions. Then there's this. This is like beyond microtransactions, and like
No, this is fucking hard. That's actually terrible.
and like yeah, Konami once again they look at this and say this is fucked up. Like they're the type of company that will charge you for a fucking save slot in Metal Gear Survive. That was fucking shit. But they let you play the game at least. They did. No, despite how good the game really was, not that good at all. But
Shit.
wow,
That's probably loud for anyone who saw that. Oh.
Doug just dropped his phone. Everybody.
Yeah, if you didn't catch on to the loud bang. No, I had it sitting up against, like, I had a water in here and I had it just sitting up against this, and then I don't know what slipped, but whatever.
Well, despite how good the Metal Gear Survive was, which was terrible, but that aside, you at least got to play the game. Like, you bought the game,
True.
you got to play it. Unless I'm missing something, which is actually very likely. This, you don't get to play the game more than once a day. That's fucked. Any final thoughts?
Whatever had to be said has been said. There's no final thoughts. Like, it is really fucked, and they're probably not going to change it.
Yeah. Don't support this shit.
That's what you do. Like, you want change in a video game. That's where you gotta hit them first. Like, you starting Twitter hashtags is not gonna do anything. If they notice that the money starts, then they'll be like, okay, maybe we should start fixing some things.
All right.
That's all I got, really.
So I think that wraps it up for today. We've been going for quite a bit. Doug, thanks for stopping by. Anything you'd like to plug?
You can follow my Instagram, Warlord, if you want. Other than that, that's all I got.
You want to plug your YouTube?
Oh, actually, yeah. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'm starting again. I got four different Modern Warfare content. If anyone's into that.
Alright, and you don't want to plug your Twitter?
My Twitter is also Doug Rodriguez. If you want to follow me there, everything's Doug Rodriguez except my Instagram.
All right.
Go sub to my YouTube channel. I got some more videos coming. I'm trying to work on editing one of them because it got a little too longer than I thought it originally would.
All right.
Thank you for having me, DPX.
You're welcome. You listeners, thanks for listening. If you're listening, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's DPX Solo. If you're watching this on YouTube, come follow me on SoundCloud. It's DPX Talks for about an hour, or it's just in the description. Also, all my stuff is in the description below, including Doug Rodriguez's YouTube channel. Anyways, thanks for watching.